You can start now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can hear. Start the slideshow. Yes, good.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The presentation here is DevOps. Sorry about that. DevOps with cloud technology. I mean, where does that DevOps itself? It means development and operations, while cloud technology means on-demand computational services online and over the internet. So, my name is Favour Anifowose, and this is my capstone project. Thank you very much. So there's a new age of cloud technology. We have online businesses. A very famous one is Netflix, for example. It's a video streaming video service online over the internet. Almost every business is online. And that's where we see the emergence of this cloud technology taking off. So I'm going to be trying to implement this cloud technology to create a type of a business. So, cloud technology, for example, you run and build application without thinking of server, without thinking of buying massive infrastructure. During the .com bubble chaos, everybody were trying to put their business on the internet, and everybody were doing the same thing, buying servers, employing administrators and things of that nature. And it wasn't the most efficient way to go about creating a business. And with the emergence of cloud technology, we come up with this much more creative and efficient way of business creation. So rather than owning those infrastructure, owning a whole database by yourself, we push it to cloud service providers who would help us do the maintenance operation themselves. And we have to think about creating businesses without thinking about server. So there are various cloud service providers over the years because it's a very, very lucrative business. And you have Amazon Web Services, led by Amazon, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Compute, IBM, the various cloud services, even applications like Gmail and Google Drive, all those things are hosted on the cloud and they use cloud technology. So what are we doing in my presentation today is what I did for my capstone project was to build a business, which is online, an online business that's completely built over the cloud using this new form of cloud technology. And what that entails. So the business idea is to a unicorn ride share app. So you ride share applications, one of those cloud businesses that came up very early on in this century, in this decade. For example, Uber, Lyft, they provide car ride sharing applications. So a unicorn is an imaginary mythical animal. It's kind of like a horse with a horn on its head. So I'll be creating it's imaginary. There's no real horse. There's no real horse that's going to come pick you up and drop you off to the next location. But that's the idea where, you request a unicorn ride. A unicorn is going to come pick you up and drop you off in a different location. So one of the advantages of using cloud technology for a business like this is that if you have many customers, the cloud technology application would scale automatically. Typically, in a traditional business, if the more customer they have, the more infrastructure, the more manpower they have to buy to support the growth of business. So when your business grows, you have to think about how you're going to buy servers and machineries and engineers that's going to manage with the growth of your server, both of your business. But with the emergence of cloud technology, all you just have to do is pay as you go. It's a very, very common concept where the more customer you have, it scales automatically, it scales vertically, and you don't have to worry about the buying hardware and software and management and things of that nature and HR. You'd have to deal with human beings in this situation. So, like I said, I used Amazon, AWS, Amazon Web Services is a very famous cloud technology out there. And this is the way I designed my business. So from the end user, from your web browser or computer, from your phone or computer, you want to order a horse ride, there's an API gateway where just the username, the URL of the main page is the URL of the business, unicorn.com or something like that. And you click or like you want to request the app, or you have to deal with authentication. My user, how do they sign in? I use an Amazon, a custom Amazon application called Amazon Consigo to deal with authentication. You could imagine a small business. Who would you rather have your username and password information? A small business, a brand new small business, or if the small business hand that over to Amazon, a very well-known, maybe more secure corporation to deal with authentication and logging in username and password information or sensitive information like that. So, all my code and things of that nature that are supposed to be in-house, I also hand that over to Amazon. I put it in a storage service called S3, right? And S3, just kind of think about Google Drive. You put your file in there, and with the aid of Amazon API and Lambda functions, I'm able to redirect every action that a user creates. Say you request a ride, there's a particular page from the S3 the gateway is going to serve to you. That's what the gateway does. It kind of serves those things to you. And with Lambda function, I'm going to go more into detail about how I create all this in the following slide. So DynamoDB is an example of database services. You can imagine if I want to store certain information, or maybe the current location of the user or where the user is going to, we're going to put that in a database to kind of keep that information that helps with your application. So I said I was going to talk about Lambda a little bit. So with Lambda, what that does is, it's an untraditional way of building a business. Typically, we have to run a server. We have to have a operating system running. Linux operating system, famous one. We could have Apache web service running on the Linux operating system, or Microsoft, they use AIX as a web application. There are various web applications there. But with Lambda, the running of those application operating system, it's already inbuilt at Lambda. So all I see is a imaginary template where I don't have to deal with the server. All I need is to code it and say, the Lambda, this is my code. Anytime the user requests something, this is the code you should serve to them. So there's various, Amazon themselves provide a lot of helper templates, that's what they call, to help you, point your everything, every point to your application, every request, every action the user takes, point that to a Lambda function. So everything with the cloud is always interconnected. So you could even virtually connect things graphically on their management console. So I connect anytime there's all the content I have, they're in a bucket. That's what they call their Google Drive lookalike application. So every content I want to serve to my user, if it's a video or a picture of the unicorn that's going to come pick my customer up, those things are in a bucket somewhere. And it's connected to other applications where, if my user authenticates, then this is their accounts. Things are very, very interconnected, and they all act like a function. And like I said, API gateway, it's the first place my user goes to. Every action, they are post-action. So if I say, I want to refresh the page or go to the home page, there's a Lambda function that deals with that, and it reacts to the API function and API gateway. So these are things I had to learn, I had to build going along the way. So this is a video of the website that I end up building. It's very simple website, but it took a lot of detail, and I'm going to try to talk along with the video playing here. So from your Google, I go to the website, there's a registration page, and I put in my email address, I'm signing up to my rideshare app, for example, here. And you're going to click sign up, and the old username and password thing, I don't have to deal with that. There's a real Amazon are going to even generate a verification code, kind of like a authentication of real users, and like a legitimate business here. And I'll get the code and I'll verify that I'm the correct user, because this is my first time signing in. So that's why there's verification code. I have to sign in again after I've created my account. So now I have an account. Amazon themselves are handling the authentication parts. I'm not saving any files, any username, any password somewhere. You can think about a much more reliable security. Now, this is the application. It's a map, and the map cuts directly into, this is, if you could notice, anyone could notice, this is the area around the school. So the map of where the school is. So I'm going to go right across, maybe Venice right there, and pick a location and try to order a unicorn ride. And if you notice the top right-hand corner, after I click, I could say request a unicorn. And once I request a unicorn is going to imaginarily come pick me up and drop me up on a location. So you say the unicorn costs Usinante has arrived, and that's kind of the theory of building a business that's completely online, completely serverless, and you request a unicorn. So we all want to build a website, but the main goal here is about business creation, and that's why everybody's going towards the cloud. Yeah. So I help you get the idea of the business I have to do. There's you could go, and this one from different location, we could go somewhere else around the world and do the same thing and request a ride. I'm going somewhere here in India, so you could click any location, and that's the idea. You request a ride, a local unicorn in the area is going to come pick you up and drop you up at a location. I'm going to sign out from there, and that's the idea. Let's see. So that's the idea of we are creating a business with the cloud. So the concept of creating proper business, the new startup and current business are all moving towards the cloud. The reason why is because it's much more efficient and effective. A new startup company could be immediately very, very destructive to the whole society. The destructive power of new businesses are the starting ground is very, very efficient for new businesses, because they have almost immediately access to what companies, huge corporations are built over thousands of years. Now all that abilities in their hand, and this is the goal of creating businesses that are agile and very efficient through cloud computing and DevOps. What I will be doing next. So I already started working on building something that's much more realistic. While my application and the business divide there is very theoretical. Some things I'm building with the cloud and DevOps going on is, my personal websites, a business website as well, a blogging app. And what I'm doing next in once the quarantine is over is try to take the AWS developer certification exam. I've been studying for this, and with the help of even Amazon themselves, they've been great help. So the application of cloud technology with DevOps and that concept can be used for small businesses, big businesses, large businesses, even government agencies are going towards the cloud. The entire United States government themselves are going towards the cloud. So it's a very good concept that I'm passionate about, and I want to say a big thank you to Dr. Lee, Dr. John, that's at the University of Columbia, Amazon documentation process themselves that helped me throughout this project. So yeah, that'll be all. Any question?
Any questions for this favored application project? This one is a fantastic, also and very new technology. Just to build a website to use Amazon provided tools, DevOps, and development operations. So it is a very new technology. I think it's a future of the website development as well as small business and medium-sized business development like this. But to learn how DevOps and Lambda, how it works, it's not easy. I think he spent lots of time on that. Any other question? No, let's move to next.